Welcome to the Lions Pregame Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. We're taking on the Chicago Bears this week. I am your host, Jeff Iafrate, sitting up here with my man from Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. That is Maz, Tom Mazaway.
I'm the with Maz portion.
In the seat, as always, we got our guy Booner, a.k.a. Booner Sports, and in the booth, once again, is Kareem. Shout out to Kareem for doing this. Thank you, by the way.
Thanks, Kareem.
And we got a lot to talk about today. We're going to start off, listen, Dan Campbell, winless on the road. This is his first opportunity. Once again, another opportunity to get that first win. And my God, I would be mistaken if we didn't talk about the Chicago Bears if we didn't get the Justin Fields match.
Oh, heck, man. He's been coming on strong, as everyone here in our Woodward Sports chat. Welcome into Woodward Sports, gang. Thanks for hanging with us on a Sunday. Justin Fields has been he's been the NFC Offensive Player of the Week last week, and he has been the top QBR-rated quarterback since Week 7. So the kid knows what he's doing. He's coming along, and it's good to see. I know it's the Bears, and we're supposed to hate the Bears, and most of us do, but it's great to see a kid like him because, let's face it, last year he came in, they threw him into the fire. Matt Nagy, the head coach, did not do him any favors. Nothing. And then this year he gets a defensive-minded coach in Matt Eberflus. And the first 6 weeks,
right,
it looked like the kid was lost. And, here we go. Another Ohio State quarterback going down the toilet. But he has turned it around, and they can run the ball. Obviously, he breaks the record last week. The NFL regular season record, 174 yards on the ground from him. Now, this is the second type of quarterback like this that the Lions are facing. Jalen Hurts, week 1. They did all right. They hung in there with the best team in football right now, the Philadelphia Eagles. But Jalen Hurts is a little different, I think, than this kid. This kid doesn't have many targets as they did here in Philadelphia, Jalen Hurts and all. But, hey, my hat off to Justin Fields. I expect another big day out of him today. I don't know if the Lions can keep him in the pocket, truly. I really don't.
No, and it hasn't been shown so far. And again, this is the 185th meeting between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. Chicago leads it historically 104-75 in 5 ties as well. So, again, to your point about Justin Fields, I got to give credit. Luke Getsy, what he's done with this offense over the last couple weeks. Now, I mean, we could talk about stats all day. I mean, with Justin Fields right now, number 1 in the NFL in rushing yards by a quarterback, Lamar Jackson, 635. Fields is right behind him, 602. And then there's a big drop-off. Josh Allen with 392, Daniel Jones with 363. If we know anything about Justin Fields over the last couple weeks, through the last 5 games, 8 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Again, but the thing I want to mention is, and we're going to get into it, 17 sacks taken through those 5 games, which we'll get into down the line. But again, from the ground, the whole
line's not great.
Not very good. But again, if you have a quarterback like Justin Fields, fixes some of those issues. Through the last 5 games, 455 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. The thing I got to mention, though, Maz, and I'll get to Booner on this, they're 1-4 over their last 5.
Yep. And they've given up 84 points in the last 2 games. They've scored in the 70s, Boone. But 84 to the 70s, that's a loss.
Yeah, me and Jeff talked about it when I first got in here, is Justin Fields can do everything he wants, and he can run for 200 yards on us, but can he win the game? Because he's been putting up numbers, and he's been looking impressive the last 4 weeks. They just haven't been able to win the game. And I think this is where it comes down to the Lions offense today. If they can put points up like we saw in the first 4 weeks, Maz, they can win this game, and I'm a true believer of that. I think Justin Fields can run for 200 yards, and we still come out with the win today.
You like the Lions today.
I love the Lions today.
Do you like them in the Seahawk type of game, 48-45?
I think it's
or do you like them in the last week game of 15-9?
No, I think it's going to be a Seahawks type, Eagles type game where it's a high scoring game. And it's going to come down to that. And I feel like I say that every Saturday. I feel like I'm always like, it's going to come down to a field goal. But that's what it's like in the NFL. When you're going to win a game, it's the last possession. So that's kind of where I'm at. Shout out to Adham in the chat. Everyone put in their FTB. I'm sure we all know what that is today. We're going up against the Bears. So they were spamming the chat with that. No question. And just to kind of piggyback off your point, with the Bears right now, as impressive as Fields has been, Maz, he only averages, through the last 5 games, I'm just taking that sample size, 170 yards passing.
Yeah, I was going to guess 150.
So as dangerous as this offense has been, they've averaged 30 points. Now their defense, you traded away your best player, Roquan Smith.
2 best players.
And Robert Quinn. And Robert Quinn, he had 18 sacks last year.
And a half.
And a half. Can't forget the half. This defense is not what it was a couple weeks ago, but they do have a young secondary. They do have Eddie Jackson. He has 4 picks on the year so far. He's like tied for second in the league. So they do got some guys in the secondary. But that offense through the air, I think, kind of gets people mixed up because Justin Fields, the Bears right now in the NFL, they're second to last in passing attempts. And that's what me and Adham talked about on Friday as well. Keeping Justin Fields in the pocket. I know a lot of Lions players alluded to that as well. If you can keep him contained, not allow him to break containment, I think that's kind of the key to success for today, Maz, is it not?
Easier said than done, man. Yeah, let's keep him in the pocket. Yeah. Okay, that's all. That's all we got to do is keep him in the pocket.
Should be easy.
Yeah, it should be an easy thing. Yeah. Good luck. Good luck to this team. They haven't kept anyone in the pocket yet.
Even Aaron Rodgers last week.
Even Aaron Rodgers
led the team in rushing.
And I watched last week really intently. I watched that game like 2-3 times almost. And, Aiden Hutchinson, he made a little bit of noise. He got the interception. Great.
He did.
Threw it right to him. But good play. But I saw a lot of times where Aaron Rodgers and that Green Bay offensive line, they kind of just let him in.
Yeah.
And they move up. As he moves in, they move up. And that's what happened. Like, that's what they said when they were drafting this guy. He's a 2-trick pony. Mm-hmm. He's got 2 moves. And he's a young kid. And he's getting better. And his numbers look great, but they had that one great half against Washington that inflated his numbers. He's still, if you compare him to Trayvon Walker of Jacksonville, he's ahead of him.
Right.
Kayvon Thibodeau, even though he's got a few games on him, he's still more in the news than those guys. So right now, and Braylon always yells at me, you can't compare him to those guys, Maz. You got to compare him to the greats in the league, the old-timers. No, I'm not going to compare him to those guys yet. He's a rookie.
Right.
He doesn't look like Lawrence Taylor, okay? He doesn't look like Reggie White.
Surprise.
We already know that. He's not those guys. But he could be very good, and he better be very good today. And I want to hear Josh Pascal's name more than the first 3 plays in the game, because I don't hear him after. I heard Pascal the last 2 games he played. You hear him in the first quarter,
especially Dallas.
Yeah, that was great. Wow, Pascal's on the field, and then you don't hear about him anymore. And I know it's only his 2nd game he's played since November. This will be his 3rd.
Yeah,
I need more out of him.
Yeah, and that's big too. And to talk about this defense, I'm glad you brought that up, because last week is you look at the box score, right, and you see the score 15-9. Well, the Lions defense, they played pretty good, and they did. They capitalized on those turnovers, but you still gave up 400 yards of offense to the Packers. Like they moved down the field pretty much every single time. They just turned it over in the red zone. So again, it's a little fugazi in my opinion when you mention this defense. Yes, they capitalize, and also to the Lions' benefit, Kirby Joseph is available today. So you do get Kirby. I know he had a concussion last week. So for Aiden, this is a big game for Aiden, because the last time we saw Aiden go up against a elusive quarterback, it was bad. And that was Jalen Hurts. That was his first game in the NFL. We'll see how he's able to adjust now, 9 games into the NFL. So it'll be a big difference, in my opinion.
Yeah, and back on the Justin Fields thing as well, is like I keep looking back to that Eagles game with Jalen Hurts. And the difference, too, with this is Justin Fields has only had 1 game all year over 200 passing yards. Mm-hmm. Jalen Hurts, when he beat us, he had those 90 rushing yards or 95, whatever that was. But he also threw for 240 passing yards. Like, he still killed us in both assets of the game. So I wanted, for the Bears, for us to lose this game, I think Justin Fields can have a little bit of his way on the ground. I just don't see him passing the ball and having those targets to where he's going to be able to kill us like Jalen Hurts did in week 1. To where if our offense is playing how they should be and kind of get back to where they were, this is the perfect game for them to do that. We should be able to win this game. We should be able to put some points up and kind of contain Justin Fields in that aspect of his game. And
it's going to be important, obviously, for Dan to finally just get that road win. And I want to play a video. Yeah. This is Dan Campbell. This was on Friday from Ermanni and Az with Maz. That was Stick and Anson. This is a clip from their show. Go check it out. Dan Campbell on losing 13 in a row.
This is what Dan Campbell had to say about their 13-game road losing streak under his watch.
Boy, that's brutal. When you just said that, I hadn't thought of it like that. Yeah, that's rough. I think we will talk about that now that you. I think what we talk about is, hey man, first road win. This is an opportunity to get the first road win, but you have to treat the game no matter on the road, at home, no different. And it's all about how do we prepare for this opponent, the work you put in, the consistency, and the little things.
Well, you heard Dan Campbell there. It's about the little things. It's about how we prepare. Too. And you heard Fletch, my guy in the background. But for Dan, I think the big storyline, especially on the road, is not only game planning, but how do you adjust in the second half? And that's more than Dan, too. That's Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn. That's everybody.
They've been horrible in the second half.
They have. I mean, they've been outscored the last couple games. I know last game they did put it together a little bit in the second half. They weren't great offensively, but you got to see, especially on the road against this offense for the Bears, who's been on fire lately, you got to be able to score some points in the second half, Maz.
No doubt about it. Until last week, they had been shut out 3 straight games in the second half. So they need to put up 2 good halves together against this Bears team. This Bears team, I think, is ahead of the Lions, if you ask me, as far as the rebuild goes. They have their franchise quarterback. I think we can all agree that their quarterback situation is better than what the Lions' quarterback situation is. And they have a ton of draft picks last year, as do the Lions. As far as their cap goes, I'm not positive. I know the Lions are really in good shape.
Bears got plenty of money.
They got plenty of money as well. So that's why they got rid of those 2 big contracts, and Quinn and Roquan Smith. It's hard to get rid of 2 of your best defensive players. But they decided, let's take the step back here, and I think they build that offense going forward. Boone?
Yeah, I'm with that. And like you said, I've been saying this for weeks now. You have to put a full game together. Like, we can't go 3 games in the second half without scoring. We can't keep having games that aren't a full football game. Right. And once we get that, whether it's defense and offense playing a full game, I think you're going to see a pretty solid Lions team, right? Like, take the field and win a couple games. But it's until then, I mean, we have to see that, especially on the road. Dan Campbell has to get his first road win. And I know some people might say, it's not that big of a deal. To me, it's a big deal because to win in the NFL, you have to win on the road. Mm-hmm. You're not going to go to the playoffs and lose every road game. So he has to start proving that kind of going forward into next season and moving into the future.
Yeah, it's understandably so that Lions fans are frustrated. I mean, you're looking around the league and different coaches are already getting their first road wins. I believe the Lions last year were the only team besides the Jags that didn't win a game on the road. And this year, I think it's just them and the Las Vegas Raiders, if I'm not mistaken. I'll tell you what, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back,
game going on too right now.
Game going on. What Tampa's up?
14-3. 14-3 over Seattle in Germany. Third quarter in this game.
Huh? I need the minus 2.5. That's all I'm looking at.
And I'll tell you, good. So we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to talk about the challenges the Detroit Lions face against the Chicago Bears. But until then, this is the Detroit Lions pregame show brought to you by Swiss Insurance. We'll see you after the break.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Welcome back to the Woodward Sports Detroit Lions pregame show here on woodwardsports.com. If you haven't already, go check it out. Great articles, great merchandise. As you can see, I'm wearing the Woodward Sports Lions t-shirt. But joining me, I am Jeff Iafrate, your host for today. With me, as always, Tom Mazaway from Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Adham is out currently. He'll be out. He'll be back. Don't worry about it. And in the chair, as usual, my guy, Booner from Booner Sports. And we're going to get into it. the challenges the Detroit Lions face against the Chicago Bears, and obviously it's got to start offensively. I mean, we talk about a team with the Chicago Bears, but really about the Lions. This offense scored 140 points the first 4 games, but just 42 in their last 4. So this offense, as of late, you got to get back on track, and a lot of that, you could argue, has to do with the health of DeAndre Swift.
No doubt about it. And let's face it, he's been out more than he's been in. But last week, he was only in for 6 plays. Got 50 yards out of those 6 plays. I mean, the guy's a big yardage guy. We all know he's a dynamic running back. But we all know he's an injury-prone running back. First the shoulder, then the knee. Then he gets hit in the head, I think, in friendly fire. Again, a lot of friendly fire on this Lions team, by the way. But last week he kind of complained that, hey, I'm not getting enough action. I mean, now at least I'm hearing that at least.
You
right?
like that.
I do like that.
I do too.
If you remember Hard Knocks, Deuce Staley was getting up on him. And I need you. I need more out of you. You got to want to be out there. And a lot of us were thinking – a lot of Lions fans were thinking, man, does this guy really want to be there? Does he really want to play? Because when he is in there, he is an absolute beast. Mm-hmm. And all eyes are on him, Boone, when he is in the game.
Yeah, and it takes away, too, when he's out there. Like, it opens up more for other guys like Amon-Ra and, like, Josh Reynolds and all these other guys. It opens up more for the whole offense. To me, it's just weird. We talked about it last week. Like they come out and say, "Hey, he's limited today," and then a couple days later, he's like, "I want more snaps. Like I don't know why I'm not on the field." And they came out and they had him as limited. So it's an interesting situation. I'm with you guys though. We need to see him on the field more because it changes this offense so much. And we talked about it too. We already talked about it. The first 4 games of the season. What was it? We put up how many points did we have? And we talked about that. Mm-hmm. Those were the games that DeAndre Swift was healthy and he was full. After that, that's when he's out and the offense just changes completely. Like you just can't. Jamal Williams is great like in the red zone. He's a good guy that can punch it in.
Right.
He's just not that number 1 guy that's going to change your offense and make it elite. Yeah. Right? DeAndre Swift can do that for you. He did it the first 4 weeks. Gets injured, and now you kind of see where the offense went from there. So,
and as much as you can question DeAndre Swift's ability to stay healthy, it seems like this year it's gotten worse. Like he's gotten hurt a lot earlier. And again, this is a guy who led the NFL in yards per carry. I mean, really. I mean, over the last couple of weeks playing limited snaps, it did decrease that. But looking how well he started to begin the season, night and day difference in how this offense looked. You can't deny the impact DeAndre has. And to your point, Jamal Williams, I love him, love the energy he brings. He's not your running back number 1. I mean, he's not a big play threat. The defense doesn't have to account for him like they have to account for Swift.
Yeah, he doesn't change
and again,
the offense.
in the passing game, Swift's better. Between the tackles, Jamal's better. But in space, you could argue Swift is one of the hardest running backs to stop in the NFL.
He's a beast, man. I mean, look at his size and his speed alone. When they drafted him, I was like, man, I don't know. Did we get the right guy? But then I'm like, when he's on the field, he is so dynamic. He really is. But unfortunately, you can't be on the field only 55% of your team snaps.
That's it.
You got to be available, right? That's the best availability. Mm-hmm. I mean, the best ability is availability. So.
And I think Kelvin Johnson once said, he's like, you either be available to your team or you get off your team. Like, that's how it works in the NFL. So, again.
And he got off when it was time for him to get off, right?
So, and Kelvin always played hurt. So, got a lot of love for that man. But with DeAndre, no, go on, Bruno.
I was just saying in the chat here, Cornelius T said they might be trying to keep him as healthy as possible because they're planning on trading him soon. Trade deadline's past, like, these guys, like, it's past that point, in my opinion. You know, like, the trade deadline's passed.
Yeah.
And we're sitting here to where it's like he was supposed to come back after the bye week, and there's just more and more injuries. So to that point, I think that's out of the picture, especially even going into next year. I don't think they look at if they didn't do it a couple weeks ago, I don't think they're going to do it next year as well.
And even if you're going to trade DeAndre Swift, you want to display him. Like you want him to play well.
You want him to have great numbers.
Because think about it, if you traded him at the trade deadline, what were you getting for DeAndre? Like I don't think it's worth it at that point. You just keep him. TJ, different story. Like we know the value TJ has, great trade. But with DeAndre, I'm glad he's still here. But I do got to see more of DeAndre. But I want to talk about some of the challenges that the Detroit Lions face against the Bears. And we'll just start with this. I mean, Justin Fields right now in the NFL. He's tied for second in the NFL in rushing touchdowns. And again, we saw an offense for the Packers get to the red zone and turn the ball over. this is an offense for the Bears, especially at home, where in the red zone, you're still going to be wary of Justin Fields and his ability to scramble. I mean, what do you run, a 4.4 at the NFL Combine? As much as you could compare him and Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts certainly stronger, he can squat more. In my opinion, Fields is faster, and that's even more of a threat. I mean, what do you have, a 68-yard run, touchdown run against the Cowboys? He's a big play threat.
He is, no doubt about it.
He's basically a third-string running back.
He is. 174 yards last week. Hey, come on. That's the best in the league.
Yeah, no question.
It is. He's more than just a quarterback. And they got a couple of good running backs, too, in Montgomery and Herbert. So nothing bad there. And who'd they trade for? Chase Claypool. I expect Chase Claypool to get more comfortable in this offense. Cole Kmet.
He's coming along, too.
That's a big target right there. I mean, and they love throwing the ball to him. He's Justin Fields Hawkinson from back in the day when Stafford would hit him.
What Braylon always says, too, he says it's a lot easier being the number 2. And we saw Darnell Mooney over the last couple of weeks play better, even with Claypool now playing better.
True.
So to Braylon's point, Mooney, you're starting to see him kind of play better as well. And the biggest thing, and I asked Easy this too, with this secondary is, again, you turn the ball over from the Packers, you capitalize on those mistakes, but you still gave up a ton of yards. Now, Aaron wasn't the most efficient, but who's guarding Claypool, who's guarding Mooney? And I guess if you want to put Okudah, if you want to go, I know we talked about it earlier, Mooney, Booner, if you want to put Okudah on Mooney, but again, who's guarding Claypool? Like you still are in the same situation you were previously. Like this secondary, they've got a lot to prove. They just don't have all the talent in the world here.
Yeah, it's interesting, too, because last week was Claypool's first week with the Bears.
Right.
So he's just kind of getting integrated into that
learning
offense.
the playbook.
Now this week is kind of his second week to where he's been there now. He played a game. He has a game under his belt in Chicago. So I'm interested to see how they actually do that. I think Okudah is going to be on Mooney. I just want to see what happens with Claypool today. Are they going to be able to stop him? Is he going to have a big game? Like, what's going to happen in that offense? I'm actually very interested kind of now that he's more integrated into this offense after week 1.
Okudah's been all over the field, by the way. I mean, he's involved.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He is involved.
He's a good tackler, open field tackler.
He is.
He's doing good
He's a
things.
strong. I mean, that kid. It's a strong dude out there.
He is.
And to have Kirby Joseph there to help him out a little bit is big. Warrior has got a show as well. And we're going to get the inactives here in about 10 minutes from now. But this game's in Chicago. It's like it is outside today. It's a perfect day for football today. The place will be packed. Soldier Field. Tough to win there. They swept the Lions last year. I was there for the Thanksgiving Day game, and
I was there too.
Lions made some mistakes in that game. Dan Campbell made some mistakes. In that
the
game as well.
timeout late.
The timeout. It was a horribly coached game. It was a terrible game.
Was that Dalton too? Was that Dalton?
Yeah, it was Dalton. Dalton got the win
on
Thanksgiving Day. So it is what it is. It's tough to win on the road. Period. This is a game the Lions should win, and I think have to win if they want to take that next step. Now, the question I throw to you guys and everyone here in the chat, in the Woodward Sports chat, is going to be talking about this. It's simple. You want your team to win, but do you really want your team to win? I mean, do you? Because every win gets you further away from a quarterback. And I know I'm the quarterback. I know Malik Willis. I get it all.
Right.
I got it. You still need to draft a quarterback when you're drafting in the top 10 5 freaking years almost in a row, and you don't have your quarterback yet. They didn't pick one QB yet. And I know they need defense, but you need your Justin Fields going forward. So I'll ask you first, Jeff. How much you want him to win?
You know what? I'm actually going to say this is a great topic, and I'm going to go to break soon, and then we'll talk about it coming out of break because I have a lot to say about this.
Good.
I want to ask you, Kareem, do you have the DeAndre Swift being upset with his usage?
It was just a tweet.
Okay, it was just a tweet. I want to go to Making the Cut. This is filmed every week here at Woodward Sports, and Ryan Ermanni does a great job. You can watch this, and then coming out, we'll talk for a little bit and go to break. You can check it out right now.
Week 10 in the NFL, we are making the cut at Lady Jane's World Headquarters here in Birmingham, Michigan. Lions and Bears from Soldier Field. Can they finally get a road win? Let's check it out. All right, we got Marcus in the chair. First up, how are you being treated here at Lady Jane's?
Fantastic.
That's the best part about it. It's wicked awesome. Hey, I wanted to ask you, Lions and Bears haven't won a road game under Dan Campbell. Do you think they get it done this week?
No.
No? That's it, huh?
Sorry.
What about the offense? Offense hasn't scored many points over the last month. Can they somehow open it up against the Bears defense?
Possibly, but the Lions defense has been looking strong against Did they just beat the Packers?
The Packers?
Yeah.
Look at that. If they could beat down Aaron Rodgers, they could take down Justin Fields, right?
That's true.
All right, there we go. Yeah. Big John here waiting, but not long, right?
Absolutely not.
No, absolutely not. Lions offense. First 4 weeks scored 140 points. Next 4 weeks, just 42. Do they get that offense clicking against the Bears this week in Chicago?
I hope so, man. I don't know if J-Mo is going to play or not, but I think they'll do pretty good in Chicago.
You know, they haven't won a road game under Dan Campbell. Does it happen this week?
One can hope.
One can hope. Without hope, where would we be? All right, Sam. Not too much optimism when it comes to the Lions. Do you have any whatsoever?
Optimism. I would say it all depends on what happens this weekend in Chicago. If they can go in and win on the road, Dan Campbell's first road win as a Lions head coach, that might give me optimism for the future. But if they don't, it's looking pretty bleak, and I would say time to get the tanks out.
Look at this guy. How about it? All right, that's it. Making the cut. We'll see you next week. Go Lions.
Wow, I love that, man. And shout out to John and Flannel Sam. Flannel Sam riding with the Lions this week.
He's
a hard critic. He's a hard critic, man.
That's a rarity, man. They just went to his wedding reception on Friday, and him and Nikki, what a couple.
Yeah.
They didn't get off the dance floor all night. Sam is an absolute wild man on the dance floor. He is something, man.
Were you down there?
I went.
I know Easy sent me some videos. He was moving and shaking. So shout out to Flannel Sam.
It's a great time.
But that's kind of the confidence level, and I feel like that's kind of consensus among Lions fans. Half have confidence Dan gets his first road win. The other half are like, heck no. From what I've seen, I don't think they get the job done. And we're going to put a poll in the chat later on and get your guys' thoughts. But before, we're going to go to break. When we come back, we're going to go through the injury report, talk about the great topic Maz just brought up. Would you rather the Lions win, get to that 6, 7, 8 games? Well, slow down, maybe 6, 7 games.
Maybe even make the playoffs.
Or, how bad the NFC is. You never know. Or would you rather have a top 3, top 5 pick? We'll get to in a second. For right now, thank you guys for tuning in. This is the Lions pregame show on woodwardsports.com, brought to you by Swiss Insurance. We'll see you in a bit.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
We're back, the Detroit Lions pregame show, taking on the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field. I am your host, Jeff Iafrate. Joining me, Tom Mazaway in the chair, Booner, and in the booth today we have Kareem. Shout out to Kareem again for taking the time to help us out here. But I do want to get into a conversation that Maz brought up. By the way, brought to you by Swiss Insurance. I do want to get into a conversation you brought up, Maz, which me and Adham have had these conversations.
We all have.
I've had these. Everyone really has. And you've seen it been talked about a lot among Lions fans. The Lions right now, 2 games out of a wild card spot. And again, there's a lot of teams in that race right now in the NFC. But you asked a great question. And Kareem, you could put a poll in the chat. Would you rather the Lions win 7 games or a top 5 pick? I think a top 3 is a little too easy. We'll do top 5. So, you have a chance to get a quarterback. Maybe you don't. Whatever the case may be. You could trade up. I want to share my thoughts on it. And this is how I feel about it. As much as I do want a Bryce Young, you want your franchise quarterback, I do get that. I think the bigger thing for me, and it's not like I'm in love with Dan Campbell, but if you win 7 games, which is where many Lions fans predicted they would be this year, that's something to bank on. That's something to give you confidence heading into the following year. If I'm sitting here and through 2 years, Dan has won, let's say, combined 6, 7 wins, even if you do get a Bryce Young, how can you have any confidence that this coaching staff can win with that quarterback? I'd rather see the improvement. And knowing you have a GM like Brad Holmes, who so far has been pretty good in the draft, I'll just say that, pretty dang good. I'll have confidence, even if they pick 7 to 12, wherever they are, that he's going to be able to find the dude. And if it's going to be a defensive player, so be it. I'm fine with it. If you want to push the quarterback conversation away, the reality is you have Jared for 2 more seasons. And as much as you want to say about Jared, he's probably, I mean, if you want to talk about your problems right now with the Detroit Lions, Jared's not really in that he's up there, but defensively you need a lot of help. So I would rather them get to that 7-win mark this season, see improvement, give me more confidence in Dan, his ability to coach. Now, you just see context of some of those games, but if they get to 7 wins, Maz, how can you not have confidence in the guy?
Look, I have confidence in him now, and I know he's made some mistakes, clock management, lack of the red flag or throwing the red flag when not needed, the way he's using his players. You could say a lot of things about Dan Campbell, but I do believe he's a great leader of men. I do believe he's put together a hell of a staff. Yep, he's fired a couple guys already in the last 2 years. I get that. I do still believe in Aaron Glenn. I think you have to coach to the best of your ability with the players that you have. They don't have a lot of great players. You gotta understand that. Lion fans do understand that. Now listen, the first 2 weeks, they looked like world beaters on offense. And that Minnesota game, I'll go to my grave saying it really cost them this year.
Right.
It cost them the confidence. It cost them. That's it. When it costs you the confidence, it basically costs you everything. They basically went down the tubes after that game. And the worst thing was that New England game. Thankfully, like I said, you throw that game out, and they had the break at the right time. They came back. They played their ass off against the Cowboys. Should have won that game. Nonetheless, here we are. Week 10, you're sitting at 2-6 after the break. 2-6 going into this game. Last week when they beat the Packers, I was kind of like laughing watching the game. It was like a carnival of errors. Just watching the game, saying as good as this game was, it was enjoyable to me. Yet I just kept telling my buddy, we're gonna lose it at the end in some freak fashion. And here it is. Packers get the ball and they drive on down. It should have been a perfect thing. They're gonna get it in, go for 2, and here we go. I don't mind the Lions playing hard for 59 minutes and losing at the end. I'll say it. I don't care because they're not a Super Bowl team yet. You have a chance. You have a chance to draft your future quarterback. I want Bryce Young on my team. I want one of those guys on my team. You're not going to get him. Just don't give me the Tom Brady in the 6th round. I don't want to hear all that crap.
Right.
Dak Prescott in the 4th round.
Russell in the 3rd.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that because we're not going to get that. The Lions are not going to get that. Or it's a long shot that they find their quarterback after round 1. It's a long shot.
Yeah.
That's why I don't mind them losing and getting a higher draft pick. I'm fine. And I'm not saying fire Dan Campbell because he can't win games. I'm good. I want year 3 is my year to watch this team grow and take that next step. Not this year. This year I want to play hard and I want to lose at the end. I know it's fun. It's great. The guys could win. I love the locker room celebration last week. But when it comes down to it, what do we look forward to here in Detroit?
The draft.
April.
Yeah.
That's what we look forward to. Before we go to Boone, I got the inactives for you. You're not going to like one of them. Malcolm Rodriguez will not play today. Josh Reynolds, you knew he wasn't going to play. Matt Nelson, you knew he wasn't going to play. Ife Melifawano, out. Chase Lucas, out. Austin Bryant and Michael Brockers, all inactive. But the worst one, obviously, Malcolm Rodriguez and Josh Reynolds.
Yeah, no
Those
question.
are the ones that stick out.
And this is an opportunity for Derek Barnes to step up again.
And you know who got raised up to the squad is Jared Davis. Jared Davis was brought up from the practice squad. He will play today. The Lions' former number 1 pick.
I don't know if
gets another chance
that's
to play.
a good thing or a bad thing.
Hey,
but we'll
he's playing
see.
hard enough to get the boost from the practice squad.
Yeah, no question.
There we go.
And quickly, back to your point. Certainly, there's an argument for both sides, to be honest with you. I mean, Dan has a 6-year contract, so I don't think this season defines his future. But for me personally, and I know a lot of Lions fans can relate, you do want to see improvement. And with this quarterback class, it's not like there's an Andrew Luck, right? And even Trevor Lawrence last year, he was supposed to be the can't-miss prospect, right? He struggled so far. So with the quarterback conversation, as much as I like Bryce Young, would I like to see improvement, and maybe you still have a chance to get a Jalen Carter or a Ringo out of Georgia, somebody uber talented? I would rather see that, but what say you, Booner?
Yeah, Jeff, I'm kind of with you. Micro Mike in the chat too, shout out to him. He put it perfectly, I think, is that you play every week to win. And that's what you want to see out of this group and Dan Campbell going forward. And I mean, you'll have fans and you'll have people on both sides of it where they want picks and then they get mad that Dan's losing and vice versa. To me, I just want to see the Lions win. I don't really care about the draft picks. Like you said, Jeff, if we win 7 games and we're picking 8 to 12, I would take that because I kind of have trust that they're going to make the right moves in the draft, that they're going to be able to trade. If they have a quarterback they love, they're going to find a way to go get him. And that's kind of where I stand on it. I want to see them win every single week. Especially right now to where, they're 2 games out of the wild card. Yeah, playoffs might be kind of out of the picture. We're not a contending team. But just to make that push to kind of build off that first year into the second year, going into the third year with this team, just keep building. So I want to see them win. I don't really care about the draft picks right now. I would love Bryce Young. Don't mix. I don't think people understand. Don't mix that up to where if you want to win, that it's not because I don't like Bryce Young. I would love to get Bryce Young, but I would rather win than sit there and be like, I want to just tank for the first pick to go get him.
You're not tanking. I'm just saying this is your wish. I'm not saying Lions tank. I root for them to win every.
You
single...
want them to play hard but lose.
Yeah, in my heart, I don't care if they lose.
That's frustrating though.
I'm used to it.
Frustrating.
But Maz,
I'm fine.
What about? Maybe you don't like the scenario, but I'll put it in your head and I'll see what you think about it. The 49ers, when they got Trey Lance, right? They had the 12th pick.
They traded 3 picks together.
Yep, 3 first-rounders. And a 3rd-round pick.
Yeah, I don't want that.
So you'd rather because again,
I want to earn that pick. I don't want to trade all the picks I've worked hard for.
Now, I don't think Bryce or Stroud is worth 3 first-round picks. But what I'm saying is, there's always a chance that there's a team that doesn't need a quarterback in that top 4, top 5, top 3 even, and you could trade up and get them. But I see where you're coming from. You want your franchise quarterback, and I'm gonna be honest. What Ryan always says, and I do agree with him, a rebuild doesn't really start until you get your quarterback,
and then it starts then.
Yeah.
So right now you're in a rebuild.
Very
and
true.
Guess what? It's going to start again. It's going to reset again when you get a new guy behind that center, under that center. Mm-hmm. It just is. That's a fact. And what do you think the Colts fans want to do right now? Let me ask you that.
Oh,
go to the Colts fans. You think they want to tank?
100%.
Because I know the owner does.
Yeah.
That's why they brought Jeff Saturday in.
Okay.
They just want to.
Jeff
lose
Saturday
games.
there is his buddy. Look, just get these guys playing hard or whatever. I'd be surprised if they win 2 more games this year. Watch them win today, right? Watch them win today. But I'll be surprised if they win 2 more games this year. When the day they said that we're sitting out Matty Ice, not for 1 game or 2 games, but for the season, Sam Ehlinger, and you like Sam Ehlinger, Boone. I remember a couple of weeks ago you told me that you kind of like him. And you know what? He's not playing bad. He's really not. But what do you think they want to do with Jonathan Taylor the rest of this year? He's playing today, but Braylon's like, oh, yeah, he's going to play. No, they're going to take it easy with him, just like the Lions did last year with Frank Ragnow. Oh, your finger hurts? All right, yeah, out for the year. You're out for the year.
It's too good.
Just what are you trying to do?
And by the way, I love this comment by Jeffrey Moore. We had a franchise quarterback. How'd that work out? And that's kind of part of it too. I'd rather this team be a complete team when you're ready to drop in your franchise quarterback. But again, this offense, you could argue, this offense is probably one of the best situations for any rookie to come into. One of the best offensive lines.
Heck yeah.
An innovative offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson. Say what you want about over the last couple games. I think it is a favorable position for him to be in. But again, both sides can be right. Right now, I want to look at the poll. Would you rather Lions win 7 games? 50%. Oh, it's 50-50. Lions top 5 pick, 49%. Wow. Out of 100 votes. See, that's how split the fan base is on this topic, to be honest with you. And moving forward, We're going to go to break soon, but I do got to say this before we go to break, because I'm just looking at the comments, and I do want to read some of them. Will Levis.
He stinks.
He stinks. We can mutually all consensusly say he stinks.
No,
right?
he don't stink. I'm saying that. He plays for a bad team.
He's not worth a top 5 pick.
No.
Because I'm going to pull a Neil. That's what I was told. He was a top 5 pick this whole season.
I would say at the beginning of the season, I was one of the people who was like, and on the college football show on Saturdays, I said it at week 1, week 2. I was like, look out for Will Levis this season. And it seemed like in every big game, he just could not, they just could not figure anything out with him. Their team wasn't as good as last year. He has potential, but a top 5 pick, I don't see it out of him.
Listen, our afternoon show constantly says this, and Ryan is the number one guy of this. You don't pick a quarterback. He says he wants a quarterback that wins, that has won on Saturday.
No question.
You don't think about it. Think of all of the quarterbacks that have been drafted. 95% of them were winners.
Joe Burrow
on Saturday.
He was a winner.
95%. And I want you guys to think about it on the chat, because you could come up with maybe 2, 3 that weren't real winners, that are really good quarterbacks, but you're not going to pick a lot. You're just not.
No, that's the big thing, I think, with quarterbacks, too. And I love that, Braylon and Ryan, you guys all bring that up, because it's true. You look at some of the better quarterbacks, they've won at a collegiate level. I mean, even going back to, Trevor Lawrence, say what you want about him, won at the collegiate level. Mac Jones, say what you want about him. Those guys at Alabama, they win. And that's why I'm leaning Bryce, because he's done it. They've won. CJ, I'm a little, back and forth on. I like CJ, but also he's playing with complete track stars in an offense that he's not going to have in any situation he goes into in the NFL. So that is concerning. I watched Bryce this year elevate everybody around him. But back to the conversation before we go to break, I just think it's interesting that people in the chat are all consensusly saying that Will Levis sucks. And that kind of speaks to the quarterback class too. Really, you could argue this year there's really 2 quarterbacks, top tier, if you want to call them top tier, the better of the pack with CJ and Bryce. After that, Maz,
you don't know.
It's a lot of defensive players.
Yeah,
a lot of good defensive players.
And they said this quarterback class is 7 deep. I'm like, where's the 7? Yeah. I don't see the 7.
Starting at the beginning of the year, it was like everyone thought it was a huge quarterback class, and it's dropped off so big throughout the season. So I only see 2 guys right now that you could really waste a draft pick on. If you go deep into 3rd, 4th round, maybe, but I don't see going after Will Levis in a 1st round pick.
Hey, look, in the perfect world, we go back to Matt Patricia's last draft when Jeff Okudah came here. I mean, come on, 2 is there.
Yeah, or Herbert. You got to take any other one.
It's sickening. It's sickening.
Yeah, that's when you're backed up against the wall, and you're picking a win now decision rather than for the future. So,
and look how good this 2 is turning out.
I know, and you think it'd be the opposite, right? If you're getting fired, wouldn't you want to draft a quarterback to say, "Well, I have a young quarterback, give me time with him"? They take Okudah, and the rest is history.
And Okudah's going to be good. He's just not going to be quarterback good.
Right. He's going to be solid. He's not for a 3rd overall
Tampa
pick.
Bay's driving again. It's 14-3. 12 minutes to go in this game. Geno Smith reached out for a first down as Seattle was trying to get close in this game, and he fumbled, and now Tampa's driven 80 yards. They're down inside the 10, 12 minutes to go, looking to go up pretty comfortably on Seattle.
Man, Tom Brady, how many rushing yards do they have?
I don't know yet. I do not
Probably
know.
not a lot. They're historically bad. We're going to go to break. When we come back, we're going to go around the NFC North, talk about some matchups. We got our guy Booner, the sports betting guru, shall I say. But we're going to go to break. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is the Detroit Lions pregame show on the Woodward Sports Network, brought to you by Swiss Insurance. See you in a second.
Yeah.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Welcome back here on the Woodward Sports Network. This is the Detroit Lions pregame show. Jeff Iafrate, Tom Mazaway, Booner, and Kareem. We're going to get into the NFC North, brought to you by Swiss Insurance, by the way. We're going to get into the NFC North. A lot of good matchups. The one I'm going to start with, kind of, I have fantasy ties to this game, shall I say?
These are two great matchups.
They are great. I have Josh Allen. All right, I'm going to be very frank with you, Maz. I have Josh Allen. I know he had the UCL injury, something with his elbow. Did not look good if you guys saw the footage.
He hasn't practiced all week.
He's expected to suit up and play again. For a guy like Josh, not practicing, probably it's a concern, but not as much as a concern as other quarterbacks in the league. Case Keenum did practice at times. He's going to be ready.
Hell of a backup,
by the way. And someone who does have rapport with Stephon Diggs.
Oh, yeah.
Going back to Minnesota.
Minneapolis Miracle.
Minneapolis Miracle. You're right on, Maz.
Against their opposite team now. It's like the reverse.
Yeah, no question.
It's bizarro world.
The 7-1 Minnesota Vikings at the Bills. The Bills are 3.5-point favorites. I'll start with you, Booner.
Well, I want to throw out there real quick. Josh Allen's active, so the line's moved to 6.5.
Oh, now it's changed.
Moved
See
how
big of a difference.
So I got it yesterday, and I put it in my article on woodwardsports.com. I had it at -3. And it's already at live. That article's live. And I put it out there at -3. Got it yesterday at -3. 6.5 it's gone to.
I called the Bills my best bet on Friday.
Yep.
And I said regardless if Josh Allen or Case Keenum play, the Buffalo Bills will pulverize Minnesota today. That's my prediction.
Pulverize.
I hope Kirk Cousins has a good game because unfortunately I have to start him in one of my leagues because I have Kyler Murray as my other quarterback, and he's probably not going to play.
Yep, I'm pretty sure
he's not
out.
I had to pick up Jacoby Brissett in my fantasy
That's
league.
pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
You only got a couple more weeks with him.
I'm with you though. I think the Bills win this. They're coming off a loss.
They're home.
A tough loss at home. I mean, you would know it has to be one of the toughest places to play. When the Bills are good in the NFL, Buffalo has to be right up there with like Kansas City.
Look, in the beginning of the year, we were saying, what are the odds on them going undefeated? Mm-hmm. We go down the line. I'm like, this team could go undefeated. Right. You get a couple of injuries, all of a sudden you lose a couple of tough games, and here you are. I don't see the Bills losing 2 in a row. I just don't. Yep. Even though Minnesota is winning with mirrors, and they are winning with mirrors, but they know how to win. And I take my hat off to Kevin O'Connell. I mean, the guy's come in for Mike Zimmer, and he has done a great job in Minnesota. They believe that locker room is together.
Yep.
But I think the Bills punch him in the mouth today at home.
And I think the big thing for the Vikings, and to your point, Maz, they've played a lot of close games this year.
Yeah.
Like they've won by a hair. But they know how to win, and that's coaching as well. Those guys execute down the stretch. And with the Bills,
it all started with the Lions.
Yeah.
If the Vikings do win today,
that is a good point.
They're going to be they're legit. I think they're already title contenders. Today just solidifies that. If they beat this Bills team on the road, that's a legit football team that could win the NFC.
The Bills, I think the big thing for the Bills today, and it's something we haven't seen all year and really at all during McDermott's tenure with the Bills, is a run game. They just can't. They don't know how to run the ball. That is one of the only teams.
Well, they got Nyheim Hines, and
they got Hines now.
Now it'll be his second or third game with them.
Yes.
So maybe you might see a little spurt from him today. I know he's not a big, powerful back. He catches out of the backfield.
Right.
That's his main thing.
But it's more weapons.
But you're right. They don't have that bell cow.
No, they don't. And they rely a lot on Josh Allen. And for a guy that has the elbow, the UCL injury, which was already kind of scary, this can't be a game where Allen has 40-plus pass attempts. Like you got to at least keep this thing on the ground and milk the clock, because we know how Minnesota with TJ, they look good. I'm going to be honest with you. We'll see. Their defense looks better, but it's going to be a tough task.
If I were the Bills, honestly, I'd sit him out. If he's got an elbow injury, and if you look at the 2 weeks after this, the Lions are at Thanksgiving. There's one other game prior to this. See if you can get the Bills schedule. The next 3, forget today. Let's say they play in the Vikings. You sit your guy out. Then the next 2 games are so winnable for the Bills.
They have the Browns and the Lions.
There you go. You got the Browns and the Lions. You're gonna beat both of them. Why? You're gonna beat them with Case Keenum. Why are you putting this guy in harm's way?
It's a great point.
Sit him out. Let's see how he goes today. He might not play a full game today.
If you guys want to look at it too, gambling side of things, his over-under for passing yards is at 256 and a half. I think I might take the under.
Yeah.
Just to the fact that he might not play a full
They
game.
want you to take the over.
They want you to. They lowered it a lot because usually his is a little probably
300.
260, 270.
Yeah. Close to 3.
I like that. Take the under on that one.
We'll move over. So real quick, picks for the game. I'll go. I'm going to go with the Vikings here.
Okay.
I just think not a healthy Josh Allen. It worries me. It does. And the Vikings have been playing great football as of late. I'm going to lean Vikings. I'll say they cover that 3.5. I think it'll be close, though. I'll say Vikings win by.
You got to change the spread down.
Yeah, that is true. I think they cover still. I'll pick the Vikings by 3. I think they get it done, but it's a very close game like they've done all year.
I'm on the Bills. I already locked them in yesterday at -3.
I wish I did.
And I think I might go back and even just double down and go -6.5.
Yeah.
I might even move that line.
And it isn't prime time, too. So, take a breath, Kirk. It isn't prime time.
I'm getting the Bills late at 6.5. They'll win by double digits today.
Oh, okay. I like it. I like it, Maz. Moving on, we got the Packers taking on, or at least welcoming in, the Cowboys. Mike McCarthy, first time facing the Packers. Back to Lambeau. I bet he'll get a warm welcome.
Oh, you know he will. You know he will. No, he will. It wasn't his fault.
No,
he didn't quit.
I know. He gets a lot of flack.
He won a
Mike
Super Bowl
McCarthy.
there. No other freaking coaches won a Super Bowl except Vince Lombardi.
Yeah, Vince Lombardi. And the Cowboys, they're favored by 4, which I'm going to be honest with you, something's a little fishy. I mean, they're at Lambeau. I get how abysmal the Packers have been. They don't have Dobbs for like 4 to 6 weeks. Lazard's banged up. They lost Eric Stokes for the year. They got some guys on. I think Rashawn Gary's out for the year. So they're taking a lot of heat. But underdogs at Lambeau, Maz. Ooh, what are you smelling?
You know, I always lean Packers. I just do. I believe in Aaron Rodgers still. I know I saw what I saw last week. No possible way they're going to lose 5 in a row. Yeah, they did. No possible way he's going to underthrow a 4-yard pass. He did. I just don't understand what I'm seeing. I kind of do. He just doesn't have any confidence in these receivers. When Sammy Watkins is like your number 2 guy behind Alan Lazard.
He's so washed.
It's come on, man.
Yeah. It's the Packers' fault. If we're being,
I know. No, it's his fault because he took all the money. Aaron Rodgers took.
And did he miss OTAs too? He was kind of absent in the summer as well.
He sat out and did all of that, and then they lost it. Like it just all went down such a bad way.
It's terrible what's happened to this team. I know all the Lion fans are like, screw them. This is the best time of our lives. I like the Packers today to hang with the Cowboys. Although the Cowboys had the week off last week, right? They come in off a bye.
Yeah.
Don't they come in off a bye?
No, they faced the Bears, didn't they?
No,
they had a bye. Bears.
That was Miami. You're right. Yes, you're correct.
So Cowboys come in off the week off. Correct. But I think Elliott is pretty questionable.
I think he's
and
probably,
Pollard is not 100%.
Yeah, he's probably. I think Elliott's leaning towards out probably.
Yeah, so I do believe that the Packers can hang with them. It's home. Yeah. They're getting what? Is it still 4.5?
It's moved to 3.5. So if you got it earlier this morning or yesterday, you would have got the 4.
I'll take the Pack and the points.
Yep.
And possible upset here.
Oh.
Possible break the 5-game losing streak. I just can't. No way Aaron Rodgers can lose 6 in a row. Can he, Boomer?
No, I don't think so. I think they're in this game here, and I think it's going to be a 1-possession game. I got it at 4 yesterday, and I'm going to probably get it at 3.5 when we get off here, and some money.
Double dipping always.
I love it. I love the Packers today. The public is all over the Cowboys. I feel like every week the public's on the Cowboys. I don't know what it is about them, but the public loves betting on the Cowboys. So I'm going to fade the public. I like the Packers +4, +3.5, whatever you get it at. So I think there's no way Aaron Rodgers loses.
Geno Smith just hit Lockett. It's 21-9 right now.
Hey, fancy team just puckered up their shoulders a little bit.
Geno Smith drove them down in Germany.
And to your point, and what's the score currently right now in that
21-9 Tampa.
In what, the fourth quarter?
Yeah, about 8 minutes to go.
Yep. And to your point, Booner, about the Dallas Cowboys, America's team, one thing you can count on with the Cowboys is a game they should win. They just never seem to win. So this is one of those games where they're favored. Everything points to the Cowboys beating the Packers at home. I don't think it happens. I'm going to go with the Packers here. It'll be so close, though. I'll say, you know what? I'll switch it. I'll say the Cowboys win, but the Packers, they cover. How about that?
Love that. Quick comment on the Seahawks-Tampa game. If you look at the stats here, Rachaad White, 18 carries. Leonard Fournette, 14.
Whoa, what's up with that?
I don't know if Fournette's hurt because we're not obviously watching the game right now, but that's very, very interesting.
Tampa can't run the ball.
No, they can't. It's abysmal, man.
How's K9 doing?
9 carries, 17 yards.
Ooh.
Tampa defense stepping up.
He has some receiving yards, but
they stopped him, man.
Yeah,
no question.
Did they miss an extra point? Are they going for 2? What's going on here? We'll keep you posted. It's okay.
Tristo in the WoodwardSports.com chat says Fournette is hurt.
Okay, so he's hurt.
That's got to be
That was interesting. When you see that stat, I was like, wow, did they switch the backfield?
Yes.
But if he's hurt,
he says with a hip injury and is doubtful. Thank
I'll
you for
tell you,
that, Tristo.
that NFC South, that's not a lock for Tampa still
wide
anymore.
open right now.
It's still open. Atlanta really blew their chance on Thursday to really. They would have went 4-4. They'd be 5-5. They'd be if they had beaten Carolina, but Carolina came back and beat them.
It's going to be like the NFC East a couple years ago when they had like a
8-win
team get in the playoffs and win the division.
Yeah, it's a fact.
That's how it's trending. I mean, right now in the NFC, it's so bad. That
it is bad.
It gives a lot of fans hope, though.
The Packers still have a chance.
Like, think about it, Mads. If you told me before the season, Jeff, the Lions are going to be 2-6 and they're still in the hunt,
yeah,
I would have told you you're crazy.
Hey, the Skins could win today. Excuse me, Washington plays today?
Yeah, they played the Eagles, I believe.
They play Monday night.
Excuse me.
Monday night. If they win that game, they're 500. Every team in the NFC East would be in the playoffs if Washington wins on Monday, and I think they can beat the Eagles on Monday.
The Eagles might not lose a game in the regular season.
It looks that way. Watch out for Monday there, Boone. I'm telling you.
So
I smell something.
And by the way, I do want to check because Jesse in the chat is talking about Josh Allen not being available possibly because the money line is changing. No, he is available. Okay, you're freaking me out.
The spread went up.
Yeah, no, the spread went up, but he said the Vikes.
He was active, and they said he's starting.
Okay, the money line, Jesse says the Vikes money line just went to 170. That must mean Josh Allen is not going to go. No, he's going, Jesse. All right, my fantasy team, other obligations. I'm expecting him to go.
The line actually did just move within those 5 minutes we've talked about it. It's moved from 6.5 to 5.
Oh, so it's moving
down again.
I'm telling you guys, I'm spelling a Vikings victory here. I don't know. Something tells me. But we'll see. It's not prime time, so that goes in Kirk's favor.
I hope so. I got Kirk.
I'll tell you what. We'll take a break here. When we come back, we're going to talk about more Detroit Lions. The matchup today, it's going on the road to Soldier Field, taking on the Chicago Bears. Thank you for tuning in. This is the Woodward Sports Detroit Lions pregame show. We'll see you after the break.
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries. What will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the 3 biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Things have really started to slow down, and just even in how I game plan and how I see things, and I think it's gotten a lot better for me. And I think I mean obviously talk about my progression is definitely on that upward trend. I feel like. And especially with some of the scheme changes, I feel like have been helping me and getting me in better positions.
what he just said, by the way, welcome back. Detroit Lions Pregame Show on the Woodward Sports Network. I am Jeff Iafrate, Tom Asway, Booner, brought to you by Swiss Insurance. What stood out to me, what Aiden just said, is the last part of that, Maz. He said, the coaching staff making adjustments, putting me in the best spots to be able to win. And that's what we've been asking for from Aaron Glenn, from the defensive coaching staff, even Dan to a certain extent. And one thing I can't say about Aiden, as much flack as people want to give him, which I don't understand, by the way, through, 9 games of his rookie year. But I do want to say,
he's not Micah Parsons.
No, he's not. But
those kind of guys are special.
Exactly.
You could see it right away.
Absolutely. But with Aiden, he's first, I believe, out of all rookies in quarterback pressures. He's first in sacks. He's first in hits. Like, this is a guy that does get to the quarterback. And you can argue, I was at the game versus Miami. He was held a lot against a very, very good left tackle in Armstead. And then you followed up that week, last week against the Packers. He was in Aaron's face. I know the stat sheet doesn't say, if you look at the box score, but if you watch the game, he did get pressure. But Aaron, again, like you said before, it's that discipline that Aiden's going to come along. But this is positive for Lions fans, is it not, for him to say stuff like that?
No doubt, man. I just want to bring up something from yesterday. I'm watching ABC and ESPN. Booger McFarland, who I love, he comes on and he's talking about LSU and this freshman on LSU.
Oh, how good linebacker?
How good he's going to be. Number 40. He's a freshman. Fresh out of high school.
Like 4 sacks.
Yeah, he is going to be a stud. And what he is saying is, kids like this, guys like this, it's the coaches that make this, that make them. And then Brian Kelly, after the game, they're talking about him, and he commended the defensive line coach for getting this kid, Perkins, I think is his last name, ready to play. It's the coach to put you in the best situation to do the best that you can be. And that's what we always hoped are the Lions. Now, Aubrey Pleasant has been coaching the defensive backs. We all said he's a scapegoat. But they fire him. 1 week later, look how good that the defensive backfield played.
Communication.
I'm not sure if it's Aubrey Pleasant's fault. All right, I'm not going to say it's all his fault. I'm not going to say last year, Anthony Lynn, it's all his fault that the offense sucked the first 6 games. You're not going to say that. But it didn't help, right? He didn't help them be the best that they could be. So let's hope that the Lions have the right coaches on the staff. And if not, you keep looking. And if you have to fire another coach, so be it. Dan Campbell's in charge. He ain't going to get another chance at coaching in the NFL as a head man if he don't win here. If he don't show that he can win here and hire the right people.
Yeah, and I kind of want to go back to the Aiden Hutchinson point too, because he's not like a Micah Parsons. Like, that is another level. I still think that there's a potential to get to a high level, maybe not that high, but there's still a really high ceiling in my opinion. You look at other guys like Michael Parsons; he goes right into the league on that Dallas Cowboys defense, right? Like, Aiden comes in with the Lions defense. We know that it's not a great defense, and he's basically that centerpiece. So, to expect, like Jeff said, some of the games he hasn't had the stats. That happens all the time. Like, I just pulled up here TJ Watt's rookie year. There's some games where he has just an assist and has nothing else. There's games where he has an assist and a tackle and nothing else. Like, there's those games that are going to happen, and that's even TJ Watt going in right into the league on a good defense in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and
Aiden isn't in that position to where he's going into a already built up defense with a coordinator that's already built up. He's on a team right now that's still trying to set a culture, learn, and kind of go through that process. Give him a year or two. Once that defense is set and it's like one of those Cowboys defenses, and he has other guys around him, he can be that guy, in my opinion. I think.
That's awesome, man. Brady just threw another pick, and he is pissed. And it's
what
his
a transition.
fault.
You did that on purpose.
It's 21-9.
You Brady hater.
6.5 minutes to go. No, I'm not a Brady hater anymore. 6.5 minutes to go. Seahawks are in Tampa territory. They're not quitting.
No, they're not.
They're not quitting.
Shout out to Pete Carroll, by the way. Hell of a job he's doing this year with that team.
Honestly. There you go. They're a real coach.
Yeah. He's
a hell of a coach.
Hell of a coach, by the way. I do want to go back to your point, Booner, because you made a great point about T.J. Watt. What about J.J. Watt? And I know, again, I'm not comparing, because, again, Aiden, number 2 overall pick, J.J. Watt, 11th overall pick. So there's the disparity.
Difference, for sure.
But for JJ had 4 sacks his rookie year. So, guys, you got to give Aiden some time. If you want to call him a bust, that's fine. That's your opinion. I completely disagree. You got to give him more time. And you saw the impact Josh Pascal had when he returned for Aiden Hutchinson. You put him in a 2-point stance. And you made a great point. He doesn't have – it's not like you drop him on the Jets. You drop him on the Giants, where you at least have marquee players. Like for the Jets, it's Quinnen Williams. That's a guy you got a game plan for every week.
He
for the
is
Giants,
a marquee player.
Exactly. And then you have – and Kayvon benefits from that as well. And you have Aziz, and you have these guys. With the Jets, you have the Jets, you have Quinnen Williams. You have Jermaine Johnson, hell of a rookie this year. And then
they made their draft picks count, though.
They did, no question. But with Aiden, the only argument, at least I could defend him, is just allow a defensive line to be built around him. I mean, that's the problem, too. You're counting on a rookie to be a generational pass rusher. It's just not going to happen with no one else around him.
You saw that game with Pascal. He came back, and then he has a good game. Like, you just have to build that defense up, and you're going to see what Aiden Hutchinson can do and what he was meant to do.
Yeah,
it just takes time.
No question. And that's what I love, too. I mean, you look at the difference. They finally stood him up, put him in a 2-point stance, and you saw him have success in Michigan doing that. So I'm glad they're mixing it up, putting him in different positions to win. But I do want to go to the chat and read some of these comments. Tristo says, we just have to build around Aiden Hutchinson on that defense. Like Ndamukong Suh said, don't waste his talent. Go get another good pass rusher, not on the opposite side. Good backers and better corners, and this defense, solid. I'm with you, Tristo, and that's the process, and that's kind of why I'm leaning this upcoming draft to kind of just take defense. As much as I like the quarterbacks, at the same time, it's like I want a complete team, Booner. I want a defense that opponents fear. Like with the Ndamukong Suh, you had your Farleys, you had guys that you were able to get around him. Now, keeping that defense together for a while didn't happen, but at least you were able to grab some pieces around Suh, and Suh did come out and say that build around this kid, and I think he's spot on.
I do want to ask Maz a question too, because Maz, you're big with Micah Parsons, linebacker, big time player. This season we're coming into the draft and Will Anderson,
of course.
So is that? I know you said you wanted Bryce Young. Yeah. To me, it's if we're going to build this defense up around Aiden Hutchinson and build a defense like the Cowboys usually have. Do you go after, I think you should go after Will Anderson.
Well, here's the problem, Boone.
Because you don't want to miss like Michael Parsons.
About a half an hour ago, we just talked about winning games or trying to get a draft pick. You're not going to get Will Anderson. You're not going to get Bryce Young. What the hell are we even talking about it for? They're going to win 2 or 3 more games.
What about a Jalen Carter?
Yeah.
He would be a hell of a player, too.
I guess he'd be.
But you're right. If you're picking 7th, 8th, you're not getting any of those guys.
No, you're not getting any of them. But
yeah.
You might even pick 10th.
Yeah.
We talked about it earlier. The Rams pick is, it's trending in the way
Very
to
true.
where we're able to go get
Very
some.
true.
They'll win some games, too.
If we need to.
It's not like they're trying to dump.
No.
They have nothing to gain by dumping.
And
they don't have a pick.
And Stafford, I don't know if he cleared concussion protocol.
No, he's not going to play.
He's not playing. Wolford.
It's going to be who are they playing? The Cardinals.
Wolford. Yeah, they're playing the Cardinals. Colt McCoy.
It's going to be Colt McCoy.
It's battle of the backups.
Yep, but more than likely that's what it's going to do. So check your quarterback lineups. We're going to keep you posted before the day's up on Josh Allen as well, because that 1 o'clock kickoff is rolling along here.
Yeah, it is
pretty quick, and you don't want to leave a guy in that's not going to play very often.
Yeah, no question. Especially considering the fact that the Rams in the position they're in, for the Lions to have 2 potential top 10 picks. Now I don't think the Rams will be that bad. You never know.
They won't.
But you never know. I'm with you, Maz. I think they'll string along some victories. But it's still, if you have a top 5, top 6 pick, and you have another pick, let's say 13, 14, pretty good spot for the Lions to be in.
It's going to be great. They're going to get 2 terrific players.
Yeah.
You're just maybe not going to get your quarterback of the future. Maybe you will.
Good.
Maybe you will. Who the hell knows?
And we've seen Brad trade up in the past. We'll see if he can do it. But if there's teams that are picking top 3 that all need quarterbacks, you ain't doing it.
Correct.
Carolina
it's going to be the Texans. It's going to be
Texans
Carolina.
And Colts, let's say the
Colts. And it's going to be the Colts.
They ain't trading those picks away.
No, they're just not.
CJ and Bryce will be gone.
Yeah.
But just to go to these comments, I love what the people are typing back, and I want to read this one. Crew Dog says, draft Carter on the interior and watch Hutch shine. Pascal and Carter and McNeil. And again, Romeo Okwara, this is somebody that really no one's really talking about this year. Has not played. Last time he played in a Lions uniform, played a season, he had 10 sacks. So again, with Aiden Hutchinson, slow your roll. I think this is a big opportunity this week for him to shine, right? I mean, this is an offensive line for the Bears that give up the 2nd most sacks in the league. The Colts, coincidentally, who spent a lot of money on their offensive line, lead it with 35 sacks given up on the year. The Bears got 33. So, and by the way, just a little nugget in there. The Lions are bottom 4 with 13. So that offensive line's doing their job.
Gino on 4th and 1. Touchdown.
They're right back in the game.
Right back in the game.
Wow.
21-15, looking for the extra point.
Oh, no. Tampa.
Tampa's on the ropes again.
It's crumbling.
I did see it in the chat earlier. Someone said that the Seahawks went for 2 and didn't get it earlier.
Yeah.
So that it could have been a 3-point game.
Could have been.
So
they'll probably go for 2 again here now.
Yep.
They got nothing to lose.
No, they
1
don't.
or 2.
They don't. Germany, Tristo says Germany's having a treat right now. And, man, didn't the NFL announce they're going back to Germany in the next couple of years?
Yeah,
they're
5 games.
Do you know how many tickets were asked for this game?
How many?
3 million requests.
Are you serious?
3 million requests to go to this game.
Wow.
The stadiums are beautiful
Yeah.
there. I mean, in Germany and England, man, I used to be so anti these games, but I'm kind of liking them.
I like the early morning games.
Yeah,
I love it.
I'm kind of loving them, to be honest with you.
See, and as you come full circle. I remember we did the Lions show a couple weeks ago when we were watching, what was it, the Saints and Vikings,
Yeah.
right? We were
That was a
locked
great
in.
game.
We were locked in, weren't we,
Great
man?
game, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's trending. I'm
Well, it's
glad.
usually Jacksonville. Now everyone's playing, which is the way it should be.
No question. I mean, and the Lions, we'll see. You know, it's all fun and games, but if I'm watching the Lions over in Europe, I do want to watch an early morning game. I think that'd be fine.
Lions are aren't they unbeaten in Europe?
Technically, they are.
Aren't they 1-0? Did they beat Atlanta?
If we could play an entire season in England, I think that would be beneficiary for all of us. Adam Beydoun in the chat says, a Lions arena is one of the best in the world. Is that how you pronounce it?
Alliance. It is. It looks gorgeous.
One of the best in the world from Adam Beydoun. Crew Dog, we're going to go to break in a little bit, but I do want to read some of these comments. Crew Dog says, why not pick up a later round QB prospect like the Arizona or Washington kid and develop them behind Goff? We should have 3 quarterback prospects in our stable plus hope. Which, again, and you, listen, Mass, I don't want to bring it up again, but you wanted Malik last year.
Yeah.
And I get why. You wanted something behind Goff. Yeah, that'd be not last year, but the year prior. And I get that. I get where you're coming from there. But this year, Hendon Hooker is somebody that might be available in the middle. But again, I mean, coming out of college.
How about this kid that plays for North Carolina? Well, he's a freshman.
Drake May. Drake May.
He's all
freshman season. He looks.
He's all of a sudden in the Heisman Trophy talk.
He is.
I watched a lot of good football yesterday.
Yeah.
A lot of good
North
football
Carolina,
yesterday.
their only loss on the season, I believe, is to Notre Dame. Like they're
not bad.
They've been playing.
Notre Dame barely. They dodged Navy 35-32. The Navy kept coming after them. That was a lot of good football. And Ole Miss, man, they lose a heartbreaker to Alabama yesterday. I wanted Ole Miss to win that game so bad.
They had it too. They had that game and I thought they locked it in.
And you know Texas A&M. Remember they were fighting at the beginning of the year, Jimbo Fisher against Nick Saban. Remember that huge fight in the SEC?
Yeah.
You know, they have the most NIL money, the supposedly the greatest last 2 classes.
Oil money.
They are 3-7.
They spent all of that money, and they have nothing to come with it. Now they're going to probably have to buy out Jimbo Fisher for millions.
3-7.
Didn't they? Correct me if I'm wrong, and I don't want to say I don't know the complete story, but I read somewhere that multiple players were suspended. Was that Texas A&M or Texas?
I think a lot of those players are trying to transfer now with the portal. Like it's a mess at Texas.
And TCU beat Texas yesterday. Everyone was against TCU.
I was on Texas.
I bet them at plus 340 as the game kicked off.
Texas.
I bet Texas. TCU at plus 340 as the game kicked off, and they won that game.
Texas, I'm disappointed. All right, I don't want to get into it too much, but we did the college football show yesterday. TCU, Adam, you suck, by the way. Because Adam was the only guy who rode with TCU.
Did he pick TCU?
He was
good for you, Adam.
By the way, Quentin Johnson, that's an NFL receiver. I'll tell you that much.
Listen, a lot of talent yesterday.
A lot of talent, man. We're going to go to break. When we get back, we're going to go around the NFL, do our pick-ems with our guy Booner, get the best bets. But until then, thank you guys for tuning in. Woodward Sports Detroit Lions pregame show brought to you by Swiss Insurance. We'll see you in a little bit.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Week 10 in the NFL, we are making the cut at Lady Jane's World Headquarters here in Birmingham, Michigan. Lions and Bears from Soldier Field. Can they finally get a road win? Let's check it out. All right, we got Marcus in the chair. First up, how are you being treated here, Lady Jane?
Fantastic.
That's the best part about it. It's wicked awesome. Hey, I wanted to ask you, Lions and Bears haven't won a road game under Dan Campbell. Do you think they get it done this week?
No.
No? That's it, huh?
Sorry.
What about the offense? Offense hasn't scored many points over the last month. Can they somehow open it up against the Bears defense?
Possibly, but the Lions defense has been looking strong against they just beat the Packers?
The Packers?
Yeah.
Look at that. If they could beat down Aaron Rodgers, they could take down Justin Fields, right?
That's true.
All right, there we go. Yeah. Big John here waiting, but not long, right?
Absolutely not.
No, absolutely not. Lions, offense. First 4 weeks scored 140 points. Next 4 weeks, just 42. Do they get that offense clicking against the Bears this week in Chicago?
I hope so, man. I don't know if J-Mo is going to play or not, but I think they'll do pretty good in Chicago.
You know, they haven't won a road game under Dan Campbell. Does it happen this week?
One can hope.
One can hope. Without hope, where would we be? All right, Sam. Not too much optimism when it comes to the Lions. Do you have any whatsoever?
Optimism. I would say it all depends on what happens this weekend in Chicago. If they can go in and win on the road, Dan Campbell's first road win as a Lions head coach, that might give me optimism for the future. But if they don't, it's looking pretty bleak, and I would say time to get the tanks out.
Look at this guy. How about it? All right, that's it. Making the cut. We'll see you next week. Go Lions.
Welcome back, WoodwardSports.com. This is the Lions pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network. I'm Jeff Iafrate, Tom Azaway, Booner, and Kareem in the booth. We're going to go around the NFL.
2-minute warning in Germany. 21-16 Bucks over the Seahawks. It's looking like Tampa Bay is going to run the clock out. Rashad White in for who's he in for? Leonard Fournette?
Yeah, that's
117 yards on the ground.
That's their third-round pick this year, so making an impact.
Looks good.
Yeah, it does look really
Looks
good.
like Tampa's going to hold on.
Tampa competing for the first in that division. We'll see how it turns out. I do think they'll end up winning that division, but we'll see what they can do in the postseason. They might have a scenario where you face a Geno Smith or a Daniel Jones in the playoffs. And this is, man.
I wouldn't mind a rematch of the Seattle game. It's been a good game.
It is a great game. Hell of a game. And also, I do want to go around the NFL. We'll start with the Colts. Jeff, Saturday's debut.
This is the dump game. This is the
at Vegas.
This is the dump game. Both teams, neither team wants to win in this game.
Vegas favored by 4.5. It's at Las Vegas. Did you hear Devonta Adams' quote, by the way? He came out and said something. Well, he said something along the lines of they talked about him being double teamed, and I don't know if it was Josh or Derek about not throwing them the ball when he's double teamed. And he's like, well, if you're not going to throw me the ball when I'm double teamed, you're never going to throw me the ball because that's what happens every single time I play.
Last week in the first half, I had 140 yards and 2 touchdowns. Then he disappeared.
Yep.
I mean, what the hell happened to that team?
Yeah, and listen, I think Devontae, as much as Aaron misses him, Devontae misses Aaron. Let's be honest here.
And he wanted to go home and play with his college quarterback, and it ain't working out. Derek Carr ain't the answer. He's just not. And the Raiders are going to be picking in the top 3 or 4. Guess what? They can take a quarterback.
I would not put that past them. They just, and again, you're getting rid of, who is it? Jonathan
Abrams.
Abrams, thank you.
He got picked up by the Packers.
Yes, just got picked up by the Packers. He was picked up to play special teams there. The Raiders are interesting. I mean, both of these teams really are having disastrous seasons.
You could say that. Except the Raiders have been leading every single game except
actually,
one.
that's the funny thing is the Raiders in some of these games, it's like,
They're blowing 17-point leads.
Yeah, they are. Especially the game against Kansas City. That was probably the last one I watched where I thought, you know what, the Raiders have a chance to beat the Chiefs here. And then the late game, you go for 2 there, or go for it on 4th down, one or the other. I can't remember off the top of my head. And then everything else just kind of snowballed from there. But we'll start here. Colts at Vegas. Vegas favored by 4.5.
Wow. How do you take either team?
I was just going to say that. I don't know.
Let
This
Booner
is
lead off this one.
Yeah, Booner. Listen, I need your help, man. I need your help.
Appreciate it.
I need your help.
Is it still 4.5?
It's at, I believe, 4.5
Okay.
still. You might be able to get it at 4 depending on where
you shop.
Yeah, where you're going at. But I'm going to go the Raiders with this one because you know what? Josh McDaniels, if he loses this game somehow, I don't see how he's the head coach after this week.
He doesn't have to lose. We're talking a spread here.
Yeah, but I think if they win this game, we know how this Raiders team they can put points up. If they win this game, they're going to win by a touchdown. And if they lose, if they're not within a touchdown, this is where that's that comeback to where they just blow a second half lead and the Colts go out there and get it done and win the game. So I'm rolling with the Raiders here today. -4, -4.5. I don't see how Josh McDaniels lets this game go under, especially with Jeff Saturday as the coach now and that whole Colts situation.
In Booner, the scenario that the Colts are in right now, it's hard to not go with the Las Vegas Raiders. Like for Jeff Saturday, his coaching debut, you have a guy who's never called plays. I believe he was an assistant or he was a co-quarterbacks coach. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. He's like 32 years old. Frank Reich liked him a lot. He's their play caller.
Yeah.
I'll get the name in a second for you.
Doesn't
Jeff
matter.
Saturday's debut. This one's tough to call. It is at Las Vegas. I'm going to go with the Raiders. I think they do cover. I'm with you, Booner, but I think this will be an ugly one if I'm being honest.
I'll go with the Raiders too, but barely. They should cover the spread. I mean, I don't expect the Colts to do much here under Saturday. I think there's going to be a lot of dissension on this team, and I just don't feel that they win. Jonathan Taylor is back though. You know what? Maybe I'm changing my own mind here. And just maybe the Colts will cover, but still lose.
Usually, I would say interim head coaches, they usually come out and they're like the team wants to play for them.
Yeah,
but this is a guy that got brought out from the outside.
Yeah,
brought
this
in.
is-
He
this
wasn't
has been a
guy on the
disaster.
staff. So that's why I'm like, I don't know if this team's gonna really want to get up for this guy. We don't know until later today.
And by the way, Parks Frazier is the young buck getting the play calling nod here. So first game as a play caller, first game as a coach. You have Sam Ehlinger. Give me the Las Vegas Raiders.
By the way, Rashad White, the kid for Tampa, who's going to be probably their starting running back going forward, at least for now, could have run it in for a touchdown, ran 20 yards, and slid down. It is all over. I mean, he's
smart play.
Smart play, kept the clock rolling.
A rookie's doing that?
Yep, 21-16 the final. Tom Brady gave him a big high five and a hug.
Yeah,
21-16 Tampa wins
Nice
over
to-
Seattle.
nice
So
to
that
just
they
see-
covered, right? Is that a cover? How many points were they favored by, Tampa?
I got them at -2.5. So
So
yes,
they covered.
did cover. They got me that.
It's not just to see Tampa run the ball efficiently. I mean, it's been a disaster this year for them, but a good win for them. The Seattle Seahawks now dropped to 6-4, if I'm not mistaken. There, so Tampa getting the win in Germany. We'll move on. So everyone mutually agrees Raiders will win that one.
Tampa's
and cover.
5-5 now.
Tampa's 5-5. Moving on, Texans, at the Giants. Giants favored 4.5. It's at MetLife. I'm going to be honest, Maz. You asked me during the break, what's my upset of the week? This is it.
Oh, really?
I think the Texans here beat the Giants. I don't know why it's a feeling. It's really the Giants. I think the most points they've scored was 27.
You just don't believe in the Giants.
I don't.
And they're coming off a bye.
They are coming off a bye.
Saquon.
They did lose. Saquon is.
He might be signing an extension. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I think he's waiting until the end of the year to negotiate. So we'll see.
They're talking now.
Oh, they are? Okay.
Yeah.
But the reason why I'm going with the Texans, and didn't the Giants lose a safety during the bye week too? Who was that? It was McKinney or somebody. I have to double check. Went on vacation, was hurt.
And he ATV or something
driving an
like
ATV,
that.
broke his hand. He's out.
That's it? Oh, just
So you lose a safety. The Giants, back to the point I was making, the Giants, I think the highest points they've scored this season is 27. And that was against the Packers in Europe. I don't know. Europe brings the best out of everybody. But they score the most. This is going to be an ugly game. I mean, if the Giants win, it'll be a 2017 victory, something along those lines, in my opinion. And in that case, I have the Texans covering. I'm going to lean Texans. I think they get the upset here. Now, Davis Mills, never know what to expect. Dameon Pierce is playing, if I'm not mistaken. He's a hell of a player, by the way. Brandon Cooks is playing as well, which, again, they played Philly close in the first half. They didn't have Brandon Cooks, so they have him back this week. I'm going to go with the Texans to upset the Giants. Hot take. What do you think, Matt?
I'm taking the G-Men. I like them off the bye. I like Brian Daboll. I didn't like you just said, I didn't realize what happened to one of their players on vacation. I mean, that's why you don't go on vacation during the bye week. You stay home, you heal up, you chill out with your family, and don't get in trouble. Remember the last time a big giant went out and partied? It was OBJ, and they didn't win. They have not recovered since OBJ was spotted out on that boat in the middle of the Caribbean. So who the heck knows? I'm sticking with the Giants at home. 4.5. They could beat the Texans by a touchdown.
And I think, and it is Xavier McKinney, by the way, just to double check. That is, he will be out for the unforeseeable future, probably the next couple of weeks, recovering from that hand injury. But Booner, what do you got in this game, man? Texas at Giants.
I'm going with the Texans here. The line moved a half a point there. I got it to 5. So I'll take the 5. I think they stay in this game. I'm with you, Jeff. I'm not convinced, really. Like, I'm kind of convinced with the Giants, but I think they're going to start having some down weeks where you're going to kind of see what they were last year. I know Saquon's been really, really good. I just think you're going to start seeing that more and more as the season develops. So I like the Texans. 5 points. I think it's going to be like you said, 20-17, 24-21 type game.
Yeah, it's going to be ugly, man. I mean, in the Giants this year, they just don't have any playmakers. Like, that's just the reality of it. And with the team, they have a rookie corner, Stingley, who's been, really good this year. We'll see how it plays out. Oh, my God. Moving on. Broncos at the Titans. Titans are favored by 2.5. Ooh. Nathaniel Hackett go into Tennessee to take on Mike Vrabel and the Tennessee Titans. Ryan Tannehill is expected to start, so that's a benefit for the Titans. I think this is pretty easy for me. The Broncos have given me nothing to have confidence in them, so I'm going to go Titans.
They're coming off the bye as well.
They're coming off a bye, but I don't care. I'm going with the Titans. I think they cover this game, as.
I don't like the spread in this game. It's too low. Titans are home, and it's 2.5.
Something smells fishy.
It does. Last week, they should have beat the Chiefs. I know shoulda, woulda, coulda. But they dominated that game until the final minute of that game. They let it get to overtime, and they lost. That happens against a better team, the Chiefs. This is a team that had won 5 in a row going into last week. Now they're home, and they're only favored by 2.5. I don't like that spread at all. So if I was going to pick an upset, I'd pick the Broncos here. I'm not going to pick the upset. I just want you to be careful. I wouldn't touch this game with a 10-foot pole, but if you're making me pick here, I'll take the Titans and lay to 2.5.
Yeah, same here. I would have to go the Titans, especially with Tannehill back. I mean, without Tannehill, they still put up a fight versus Kansas City with Derrick Henry. I don't think the Broncos are going to be able to stay in this game, to be honest. I'm so far off of the Broncos at this point. They score 15 points per game. Like, you just can't. To me, I just don't see you winning football games that way. I think the Titans, it's probably going to be like 24-14 type game today with Tannehill back in the lineup.
And we got a couple games here, a couple minutes before we go to break. We'll do a little bit of a speed run here. Saints at Steelers.
We can break and then come back for some.
Okay, we can do that if you guys want. Time. Saints at Steelers. Steelers underdogs at home.
Yeah.
TJ Watt set to return. I'm going to go with the Steelers here, man.
How can the Saints be favored of anybody?
I was just going to say that. I mean, they've been really choppy as of late. It seems like against Arizona, they score all these points, and then other weeks, they just look inept. So I'm going to lean with the Steelers here. I know Kenny Pickett's been turning the ball over, but I think TJ Watt's going to bode well for him this week. So give me the Steelers. They're plus 1.5. Give me that.
That could be one of my best bets of the week.
Oh, I love the Steelers today.
Yeah,
I've put the New Orleans Saints on my no bet list for the year, or bet against them.
Yeah, no fly list, baby.
That whole stat, like everything that happened last week in that game, has taken me completely away from the Steelers. Just with Andy Dalton, that was like the worst thing I bet. Like worst coach, I just could not stand. I had to
Dennis Allen is a terrible coach.
It was terrible.
He's a terrible coach.
They couldn't even. There was just times where put Taysom Hill in, just try something different, except just trying the same thing over and over.
Right.
I don't trust the Saints at all. I think the Steelers win this game by a touchdown.
And then we all mutually agree here. Browns at Miami. Tua in the lineup starting from start to finish. They have not lost yet with him at quarterback.
As long as he stays in, they're a competitor. They're a contender.
No question. And they have Bradley Chubb. This is his second week playing. I know last week they struggled a little bit, but that was against Justin Fields. You have a statue in Jacoby Brissett this week, but they do have a good run game. And
former Dolphin.
Former Dolphin. No question. Yeah, backup of Tua. So, again, interesting matchup at Miami. Give me Miami. I think they cover this 3.5.
Yeah, I like Miami in the heat in South Florida. I don't think the Browns can win this game, although they desperately need to start winning if they want to have any chance of being in this thing when Deshaun Watson comes back in a couple of weeks. They're trying to keep this thing on the rails. They're going to play hard today. Nick Chubb is going to play his heart out like he always does. I mean, just keep giving him the damn ball, man. I don't know why you would even do anything else but to give Nick Chubb the ball. But I'll take Miami at home to cover that 3.5, but not by a lot.
Yeah, I'm with you, Maz.
I'm opposite. I think the Browns win this game today.
Oh,
if you look at the Browns, their schedule, they're coming off of a bye. Before the bye, they beat the Bengals 32-13. Dominated the Bengals.
That was a Monday night game on Halloween.
And then they have their bye, and now they're coming back versus the Dolphins team. Yes, the Dolphins haven't lost with Tua, but their last 3 weeks since he's been back, the Bears, Lions, and Steelers. Those aren't great teams.
Right.
This is a way better. To me, I think the Browns are actually a good football team.
They were
even
coming in.
Brissett,
They were a playoff team coming in to me.
Yeah, even with Brissett there. I think the Browns win this game on the road. I think a lot of people are going to overlook this. They're going to see the Dolphins winning with Tua. They're going to see the Browns kind of a little low at 3-5. I think that they easily cover this game at 3.5.
And the thing that no one really mentions, and to your point, is Myles Garrett. Like, that's a game wrecker.
Yep.
Like, that's somebody that, if he's on, this game could completely change.
I just hope Tua gets out healthy. That's all.
That's my concern as well, Maz. I'm with you there. Here, we'll go to break. We'll come back. We'll finish up around the NFL. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is WoodwardSports.com's Detroit Lions pregame show. See you in a second.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
We're back. Detroit Lions pregame show on WoodwardSports.com, brought to you by Swiss Insurance. We're going to wrap up here, do all around the NFL. We already got through a handful of games, but still on the list, we got Cardinals at the Rams. Rams favored by 1. Battle of the backup quarterbacks.
Battle of the backups, man. I'm glad they're not forcing us to watch this game. I don't think we have to watch this game today.
No, this is, if you're a betting man, you probably, I'm not a genius, Booner, but you probably stay away from this one.
Yeah, and the line's already moved. The line's moved to 3.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, there's a little movement in there. I don't know. To me, I'm staying away from it.
Yeah, it's ugly.
Yeah, I don't even know what to make of this game. The over-under's at 38.5.
Wow.
The Los Angeles Rams,
the Super Bowl
38.5.
champions. The Super Bowl champions.
And I know
38.5.
Stafford's supposed to be out, and there's all those.
Yeah.
But 38.5 is, I mean, that's one of the lowest of the week. So it's crazy to me.
Yeah,
would you go under?
I don't know if I would. I just wouldn't touch that game. Anything could happen. 2 backups going at it. Anything could happen.
And Wolford's actually, I mean, as much as we can, poke fun at him, he kept them alive in that playoff game they had where Jared returned and they won with Cam Akers running the hell out of the football.
Hey, he's a backup in the NFL. I mean, he's got to be able to play a little bit.
Yeah, no question. Colt McCoy, another serviceable backup, but at the end of the day, it's really who do you trust? Sean McVay, Cliff Kingsbury, we'll see. It is at the Rams, which, to be honest with you, their home stadium is, is it a home advantage?
Not really.
I do like taking the Rams over the Cardinals anytime they play.
Yeah.
There's just something
they do
about
have their
that.
number, it seems like.
Yeah, there's something about it to me. It's like I just think the Rams just dominate the Cardinals every time. And
I want to
just
ask
can't
you guys
figure it
something. Let's say Kyler Murray becomes available next season.
Don't do this, man.
And there's a rumor that he could become available.
Don't do it.
Would you be in play?
No.
to trade for Kyler Murray if you were the Detroit Lions? I'm going to make you Brad Holmes, both of you. I'm going to go to you first. Kyler Murray, let's just say he's available because it ain't working out in Arizona. It's just not. You remember the whole contract snafu? He's playing, too many games, he's playing Madden instead of studying the playbook.
Yeah.
They had a playbook clause. You have to study X amount of hours. They finally took that out. He signs a deal. So he's got all this money coming to him.
No.
Would you take, because you're not going to pick a quarterback. You're the Lions. You're not going to be able to pick Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud. You're not.
Maz.
All right, so here you go. What are you doing?
Maz, I'm keeping – I know, listen, we're kind of getting past COVID, but I'm keeping 6 feet away from him, if I'm being honest with you, Maz. I'm keeping my distance. There's more about Kyler that I'm concerned with, right? Like, you could talk about his size. My concern is it is big, and that's a big part of it. But he is very elusive. But the problem I have is his commitment to football, right? Like, if I have to question your commitment paying you $50 million –
But they paid him.
I know, but you're taking on that money. So if you're going to pay Kyler that – and I have to question your commitment or question. You saw DeAndre Hopkins on the sideline yelling at him.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you see?
Yeah.
What'd you see out there?
Hey, Juan, what are you looking at?
Yeah, what are you looking at? Well,
Did
not
you watch
much.
that Hard Knocks?
I actually
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I do. I like it. A lot of juicy drama. I knew the Cardinals would be a good one because
Yeah.
there's always crap going on.
I missed it. I didn't see it yet. I'll go back and watch it.
I recommend. You'll love it. You'll love
I'm a hard no on
Okay.
Kyler Murray. I just don't like if you're going to bring a guy in and you're going to have to pay him that much. Don't you want to see him at least proven that he could win? Like
Yeah.
a Lamar. At least we can have a conversation with Lamar Jackson because he's taken his team to that level to the playoffs and he's been an MVP. Kyler Murray hasn't done any of that and he has that contract. Like I don't know. I have to stay away from it. It's an easy no for me, to be honest.
And on top of that, Booner, like this is a guy that when you have to trade, if people are trading away quarterbacks, like for example Russell Wilson available for trade. Everyone thinks, well, it's Russell Wilson, right? But if a team's willing to trade them away, most of the time it's not for great things. Like it's a damaged product. Like for Kyler Murray, for example, that's not something. And you're gonna have to fork up picks. You're gonna have to pay him, and then we're gonna have to spend every day talking about why Kyler Murray frustrates us on a game-to-game basis. So I'm gonna stay away from it. But Maz, what do you think? Are you?
Well, if he didn't, no, I'm not going to take him.
Okay.
And the reason I'm not going to take him is because of that contract that he signed.
It's hefty.
All right, but if you would have asked me at the beginning of this year, before he signed that deal, would you take him then? I would have. I would have taken him in a New York minute.
And
I would take Lamar.
Yeah,
well, no, you're not
out of 7
You're
days.
not getting him.
But that's when
twice on Sunday.
You're not getting him.
You get into
But
that
you're not getting
conversation
him.
with
You're
the rookie quarterback, then you can get a guy on a rookie deal that's potentially
Yes.
could be just as good, like a Bryce Young. So I mean, that's the conversation you start to get into. I at that point, if you're talking Kyler Murray or Bryce Young, Kyler Murray is so long gone for me.
Correct.
I'm
But
going
you're not
Bryce
getting
Young.
Bryce Young.
You don't know that, Maz. We could still there could be some ways to get him.
You know, Lions fans, Maz. There's always a chance.
We have
Okay.
we might
There's
have two
always
top
a
10
chance.
picks.
All right, listen.
Brad,
Here's the next
he did
thing.
it last year. He might be able to make a move to get up again.
Okay, you ready? I know the chat's killing me, but here's another one, guys. This will be absolutely, they will demolish me for this one. And I bring it up all the time.
Oh, no.
Do you guys know who I'm going to bring up?
Who?
What quarterback am I going to bring up?
If you say Baker, don't do it.
Baker Mayfield.
No, Maz.
I don't know if I want.
Listen to me.
Maz.
You're getting him for nothing. You're getting him.
Maz.
You're getting him for nothing. How many years does he have on his tires? 4 years? 4 years of tread? That's it?
Isn't he supposed to be paid soon? Is that,
He's going to.
well, it'll be minimal.
That's the end
but-
of his deal.
Yeah.
He's going to have to get a new deal.
No, Baker.
Look.
If you're
listen to
okay,
me.
go on. I'll let you talk.
I still believe in Baker Mayfield.
Oh my God!
I do.
No, you do
I
not.
I do.
Maz.
Adam, if you are listening, I'm sorry.
Maz.
I know how you feel. I know everyone thinks, man, well, this is a guy that likes Malik Willis. Why wouldn't he like Baker Mayfield? I believe in Baker Mayfield. Yes, he sucks right now. Yes.
Well, he's always.
The Panthers suck.
He
They
sucked
suck.
Maz, he sucked on a good roster.
No, he didn't suck on a good roster.
The one year
he had
he played
injuries.
well.
He had 17 coaches.
Oh my gosh.
He
Maz.
needs Dan Campbell in his life.
I've never heard that, by the way.
He needs Dan Campbell in
Okay.
his life. He needs someone to get him.
Oh,
Believe in
my
him.
gosh.
Dan Campbell would love that guy.
Maz.
He would love the guts that kid brings to the team.
I will tell you this though, like he is a rah guy like Dan Campbell. Like the clip last week of him just going out and headbutting every teammate
without a helmet.
That's the craziest thing ever. But
he's cuckoo, man.
That's cool that he did all of that. He can go play for the Houston Texans. He doesn't need to be in Detroit.
Hey, by the way, I love this comment. Uber Levi in the chat. That's the saddest "I still believe in Baker" I've ever heard.
Hey, I'm sorry, man. I do. I'll put my testes on the table here. I believe in Baker Mayfield. I think he still can do it and be an excellent quarterback. Not top 5, but top 10 quarterback in the NFL.
I'll pay him a couple million to come be a backup here.
Chuck
backup. He'd win it.
Chuck Brewer says, my guy Chuck, shout out to Chuck. Maz, you want a loser quarterback with a loser coach. That will turn out well.
Hey.
Yeah, hey.
I'm just saying.
You just saying. Listen, I appreciate your opinion. I get it. If you like Baker, you had the year. Honestly, they were about a hair from beating Kansas City in the playoffs that one year. But after that, it's over. Baker's trending. If there's a
he's trending down.
If there's a buy or sell, I'm selling every Baker Mayfield side right now.
He's low. He can't get lower.
I'm selling it.
I still think the Browns did him
Get
wrong.
rid of it. Dogecoin.
He brought them their first playoff win, and they just left him out there. So I do think they did him wrong. But
whatever.
I can't agree with that.
Just my opinion, guys.
Listen,
it's okay.
And we respect your
We all
opinion,
have them,
Maz.
right?
I'll just politely tell you why I just don't agree with your
That's
opinion.
fine.
That's
buddy.
all. All right, we're going to go to break. When we get back, we're going to do our game predictions, talk about what we want to see from the Detroit Lions. But until then, thank you guys for tuning in. This is the Detroit Lions pregame show on the Woodward Sports Network, brought to you by Swiss Insurance.
Go, Baker.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
We're back on the Woodward Sports Network.
Looks like I'm getting canceled.
This is the Detroit Lions pregame show. I am your host, Jeff Iafrate, joining me alongside Tom Asaway, and as always, Booner from Booner Sports. And I got to read some of these comments, by the way, because we were reading them during the break. You guys cracked me up.
Who's canceling me? Tyler Spring, why are you canceling
Mark
me?
Ross, oops, Maz hit his head again. Jeremy Anderson, I love Maz, LOL. Chuck says, Maz is loyal to a fault, but gotta love him. We all love Maz. Philippines On Demand says, love Maz too, but he went too far on that one. They didn't like your Baker. You didn't like your Baker take, Maz.
They never did.
They shot it down before it even got a chance to fly.
Maybe Adam could re-bring it up tomorrow with you.
I don't want to see that reaction.
Please bring it up to him. I just want to hear what he has to say.
I will. He'll probably implode.
He will.
I do want to finish up these NFL games. We got 2 more to get to.
Yeah.
The Chiefs taking on
Jaguars.
And then we have the Chargers taking on the
49ers.
So
I got the
Boomer. See, he had him on deck.
I got the chefs today in my survivor pool. I'm down to the last 6 people.
Interesting.
I have Kansas City still. I kept them all this time. I still got the Bills in my back pocket as well. I think I'm going to roll with the Chiefs in this game. Boone, I want to ask you your opinion. I don't have to lay the spread. It's 9.5, right?
9.5.
9.5.
Ooh.
I think I'll lay this. Should I lay the 9.5? First of all, am I safe with the win?
Safe with the win. I don't. They're at home. They're in Kansas City. I don't.
Arrowhead is tough to play.
Yeah, especially to the Jags, they won last week, but they've been struggling.
Okay, so I'm okay with that. What do you think of the spread now?
I like the Chiefs.
Okay, good.
I think the Jags, versus a good Chiefs team on the road, I just don't see them being able to keep it close, to be honest. It's like a 2-touchdown game. I think 9.5. I think Vegas has it set at a good spot, and I think the Chiefs get this one done.
Do you think you see anything out of Kadarius Toney today?
Yeah, I think so, actually, because last week I was surprised a little bit. I forgot. I put my player props in for that I think it was Sunday Night Football that they played.
Yep.
And I put one in for Juju Smith and someone, I think McCole Hardman.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Kadarius Toney was playing.
Yeah.
And he actually had a couple targets and some good plays. I think, again, they're going to start looking at him. That Chiefs offense is somewhere a guy like him can go and get some production. Like, Patrick Mahomes is going to get him open. He's going to put him in a position to succeed. I think we saw it a little last week, and he'll do it again this week.
And McCole Hardman ruled out. So
he's out.
To your
so
point,
there you go. There's
Kadarius Toney. That's his opportunity.
How about
to
Travis
shine
Kelce? What do you expect out of him today?
Hit the over on the yards.
Yeah, he's every week he'll have a big week.
Yeah.
He's the best tight end in football to me, outside of Mark Andrews, by a mile.
So we'll go picks. I'm going to go with the Jags, too. Like, they always seem to play good teams tough. They do.
That's why I was a little worried.
They're going to stay in it. I'll take the Chiefs, though. I think they cover that game. I'm rolling with the Chiefs.
Okay,
Would
I
you
hope you're
agree?
right. Yeah, I'm taking the
Chiefs, and then you got the Chiefs as well.
Yeah.
And then the next game, we'll do the Chargers.
At the 49ers, night game tonight.
That's a great game.
That's a big spread, man.
And it's a big spread.
Santa Clara, they're home. 49ers are home, favored by 7. The poor Chargers are never home anyway. Even when they're home.
They're not.
They're not home.
And those 49ers fans, even if they were at home this game, they always travel, man.
49er fans are great fans.
They're going everywhere. So I'm going to give me the 49ers in this game. The 49ers, they're trending upwards. So
they're trending way up.
They're a serious contender in the NFC, man, with the Christian McCaffrey trade. I mean, their offense, now you have Debo, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle. It's a dangerous offense. And on top of that, they have one of the better defenses in the league. This Chargers offensive line has had injuries all season. They struggle to protect Justin Herbert. This is one of those games where I can see Justin Herbert running for his life. So give me the 49ers. I think they're the more complete team, and they're at home today.
Yeah, Mike Williams out, Keenan Allen out.
Oh.
Justin Herbert does not have any guys to throw to. He has Palmer.
He's got Eckler.
He has Eckler. I just don't see them staying in this game. I mean, it might be close down the stretch, and the 49ers go out and win the game. I do have a best bet in this game. I like Christian McCaffrey. His receiving yards is at 37.5. If you want to play a player prop, to me, a Sunday Night Football player prop, that's the one there. I think he gets probably 50 or 60, even with Debo back.
Dude, you could check down to him and get 15 yards.
He can get that on one
that's not
play.
even. That could be. That's easy.
Listen to me. If he stays healthy, I think they win the Super Bowl.
Wow.
I truly believe the 49ers. I like them to win that West, especially now Seattle lost today. They're 6-4. I like the 49ers to win that division going away. I like them to win the Super Bowl. That said, I'll take the Chargers tonight and the 7. Sunday Night Football, there's hardly a blowout on Sunday Night Football. Yeah. Last week it was the Titans getting a touchdown. I was like, they shouldn't even be in the same freaking arena as the Chiefs. I'm going to take them. I took the Titans. I won with them. I'll take the Chargers and roll with that 7. I think 7's way too high.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm going to go with the 49ers and the Chiefs. I think we'd all mutually agree here. No one's picking the Chargers, correct, Booner?
I am.
Oh, except for Matt.
I'm going Niners today.
So Niners, you'll go Chargers.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chargers to stay in the spread.
Stay in the spread.
Like
okay, so you're not picking them to win outright. You're picking them to cover. Gotcha. And now we're going to go to what do we want to see from the Detroit Lions. We'll do our game predictions. Kareem, you could put a poll in the chat. Who do you got today? Lions or Bears? Very simple. I want to hear from the chat, from you guys, the people. But I'll start this off by saying this. What I expect from the Lions today is a better offensive performance, point blank. Like, this offense, I expect them to at least trend where they were at the beginning of the season. This is a Bears team currently that give up the third most rushing yards in the league. They give up the most rushing touchdowns. They've given up 15 so far. So this is an opportunity for this offensive line, for this run game, to dominate the trenches and be able to kind of, dominate time of possession, keep that defense for the Bears on the field. They've given up plenty of points over the last couple weeks. This is an opportunity for the Lions offense to bounce back today. And then defensively, what I expect is them to get after Justin Fields. Like what I said earlier, they give up the second most sacks in the NFL. This is set up for Aiden to go make plays. Go be a game changer today. Go make plays, especially down the stretch. I think it'll be close, to be honest with you, Maz, and I'm not going to give my game predictions. I'll wait, but I do expect those two things from both sides of the ball. And if Kirby's playing, maybe a sneak out with a turnover or two.
Yep. Well, the only guys that are on that inactive list, that really is a stick out, we said it earlier today, Josh Reynolds, you kind of knew he wasn't going to play, but Malcolm Rodriguez is not going to play. So already a weak defense gets weaker.
Right.
Because that's a guy that, let's face it, he was your best linebacker.
And he's a good sideline-to-sideline guy.
He'll chase you down. He'll hunt you down. He's a great tackler. He's always at the bottom of that pile. Again, freaking friendly fire takes him out, gets hit by Okudah, right? Okudah's killing everybody. He's taking everybody out, whether it's his own team or it's the other team. I like the Lions in this game. I really do. I'm with Boone on this one. I think they're going to win. They've lost, got swept last year. We told you about that. Justin Fields, I still think he will have a big day, but I think the Lions offense will have a big day. I told you this Bears defense has given up 84 points in the last 2 weeks. Why not the Lions? Why not? I think DeAndre Swift plays more, and I like some numbers. I want some numbers with DeAndre Swift there, Boone. What do you got for him?
So I can pull it up here as we talk, but I'm with both of you guys here. I want to see this offense. Maz, you brought up the Bears have given up 84 points, is that? 84 points the last couple of weeks. The first 4 weeks, we saw what our offense did with DeAndre Swift at full health. The last 4 games that we've had, he's been limited or out. This is the game to where he's supposed to be back. No one's heard limited. I want to see this offense get back to where they were when he was active.
140 yards they had the first 4 games. 140 yards, the offense, 140 points.
Yeah.
That's what they scored. And in the last 4, 42 points.
Night and day.
And this is we're back to that offense with everyone healthy. And we want to. I want to see them put those points up again today versus Bears team, which I think they can do it. And hopefully they give DeAndre Swift the carries that he comes out and says, "Hey, I want more carries." Let's see it today, and a couple big plays out of him as well. Get him some more snaps. I think that'll change a lot. I do have. Actually, at least here what I'm looking at, I don't see any DeAndre Swift rushing yards. Nothing's pulled up here. DeAndre Swift receiving yards over 22.5.
Oh, easy.
So that, if you want to play today, that
looks like a lock.
A hammer play.
Unless he's out for the game. That's a lock. That's the first drive.
Because they've been utilizing him more in the passing game. Even lately, they've been limiting him in the run game, but he's been out there.
You know what? That number scares the hell out of me.
This is what also scares
me. They want you to take the over on that.
Jamal Williams, his rushing is at 61.5.
Jamal.
So they're rolling. They're still.
So they think Jamal Williams is going to be that guy and get the carries today.
We'll see. And you heard Deuce Staley this week talk about it too. If DeAndre's pissed, tell him to bottle that anger up and take it out on the field. And this is a defense for the Bears that is prone to giving up rushing yards like I alluded to earlier, and it's an opportunity for Swift to kind of have one of those bounce-back games. We've been waiting for one of those games even since Philly, when he exploded for over 140 yards. So if I'm giving my predictions, I'm sorry to rain on the parade, but I'm going with the Bears here at home. My original prediction is I think they split with the Bears. The Bears win at Soldier Field, Lions win at Ford Field. I'm going to go Bears win 27-24. I think it's close, but I just think what I've seen so far from this Lions defense is, number one, they can't really stop anybody. They can capitalize on some turnovers as of late, but I do think they're going to struggle with Justin Fields. It's easier said than done, right? Like we were talking about earlier. Yeah, you can contain them, you keep them in the pocket. Way harder when you're actually out there facing the man. So I do think Justin Fields, I don't think he goes off this game, but I think he does enough to win, and they do damage both teams on the ground, but we'll see.
Spread's what, 3? Safely, we could say it's a 3-point spread here.
Yeah.
I'll take as much as I want the Lions to win, and I've already given you my angel versus the devil. I want the Lions to win, but I want them to lose as well. I'm going to say the Lions lose late by a less than a field goal. Cairo Santos, with about 5 seconds to go, hits one from 55 yards at Soldier Field and beats the Lions 34-32. All right, so they don't cover. Lions cover to 3 points and still lose.
I can see that happening.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. I'm rolling, though, with the Lions today, 27-24. I think they get it done. I just think Justin Fields can do whatever he wants. He can run for 150 yards, 200 yards. We've seen it throughout the last 4 weeks with this Bears team, and they still lose the game. If DeAndre Swift is back as we think he is, I think this offense gets back to where they were 4 or 5 weeks ago, and we see them score 27. I originally had the Lions scoring 34 points. So I took it down a touchdown here.
On the road.
I took it down a touchdown just to give me a little room there. So 27-24, I'll take that.
I
Lions win.
think we all mutually agree. It'll be a close one. And,
I think so.
And I think their offense.
I see no blowout by either team.
You got to show up on the road. And the last road game we had to witness was Dallas and that complete breakdown in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So you can't do that against the Bears. We'll see. Maybe Dan can get his first home win. Before we end the show, I do want to read the poll. Who wins today? 83 votes, 65% are on the Lions, 35% with the Bears. Am I surprised? No, I'm not. But there you guys have it. I want to say thank you to everybody who tuned into today's stream. If you haven't already, like the video, like the stream. Go out to the website. We have tons of stuff now. We have new articles every day that are being posted, new merchandise, new gear.
You got that new piston gear.
Beautiful.
The green pullover.
Yes, we do.
I've got my picks up there on the website
and your
right
picks. You go check those out.
A ton of picks.
But until next week, I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat for tuning in. We'll see if the Lions can get it done today. But until then, this is the Detroit Lions pregame show on the Woodward Sports Network, brought to you by Swiss Insurance.
Have a great guy.
We'll see you next
Enjoy
Sunday.
it.